Good afternoon. I have had, to say the least, a very trying weekend. And to do something that I had to do to make sure that my oldest daughter was safe. And is it going to piss people off that I did this? Yes, it's going to piss them off. But let me tell you, I would rather have pissed off people than my daughter not being safe. And I wouldn't have to do this if people would open up their eyes and see what's going on in front of them. Now, my honest opinion about what has been happening with her since the gods know when. I feel like it's a thing of not caring. Knowing this was going on, it has been going on for, like I said, God knows when, and not caring. So, that's when I stepped in. She came to me this weekend in tears and telling me what had happened. And this was Saturday. And I am like hysterical, crying, you name it, because this is my daughter. She has already been through Tartarus. And to no avail, no one has done anything to stop this from happening. It just keeps on happening because they turn a blind eye and they sweep it under the rug and they're like, oh, it didn't happen, or oh, it's your fault. You shouldn't be wearing this. You shouldn't be wearing that. And I'm hearing this coming from my daughter's side, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, why would you believe me? And I'm like, why wouldn't I believe you? Why would you make up some bizarre incidents so heinous like this? This is not you. I said, I believe you because I've been there. I know how it is to feel not acknowledged and no one's done anything about it. You know, and she needed to feel heard, and she needed to know that somebody believes her. So, I mean, granted, there's her boyfriend, but he lives in New Mexico, and what is he going to do? And thank goodness he does live in New Mexico, because I have a feeling his 18-year-old butt would have probably done some bodily harm to my sister's so-called boy toy. And the fact that my father, my blood father, or my biological father, has been allowing this to happen with his friends. And nobody believed her because his so-called friend who did this to her is a military personnel. Fuck Who cares if the dude's a military personnel? He's fucking touched your granddaughter. Fucking stand up for her. Do something. Just twiddle your thumbs. So she asked me to intervene. And just from what I heard from what my so-called sister's boyfriend did to her, she didn't even have to ask. I was going to do it anyways. That was the straw that night that broke the camel's back. That was it. You know, I didn't at first do this, and then hearing this Saturday night and how she blames herself and feels like nobody will believe her, and it's all her fault. It's always all her fault that this shit has happened to her. Broke my heart. I mean, I was shattered. And I'm like, why? Why? And I asked her, I said, baby girl, did you tell your Kiki what happened? She's like, no, she won't believe me. Oh my God. And I knew this was, I knew it. I knew the deepest, darkest secret this dude had. It portrayed in the cards that I laid out. It portrayed in the cards that a friend of mine laid out. I mean, we both had the same reading. This dude's not right. And, I was right. And I hate it. I hate that this shit happens to her. And that over there she has nobody to truly trust. I hate the fact that I'm not there physically to sweep her up and say, come on, baby girl, let's go. Get your shit, get the dog, and let's go. And I was telling my sister-in-law today, and I broke down and I cried on the phone. And I said, Shannon, I blame myself for everything that has ever happened to that baby. I should have just freaking... And she's like, you can't blame yourself for other people's doings. But I should have been there to protect her. And I told her, I said, this is the reason why I don't date. Because I don't want to take a chance. I would rather my daughter be safe and secure than to have a boyfriend and me keep on thinking that this could happen to my daughter, my youngest. It's already happened to my daughter, my oldest daughter. And half of it is not even a boyfriend related to the family. It is friends relation to my father, my biological father, my blood father, my sperm donor, whatever you want to call him, because right now he is the slowest life form in this planet to me. And it's just, I wanted to come on here on YouTube and tell you my story of my oldest daughter. Because everything that has happened to her has not been resolved. She lives with a constant reminder of how she is not loved by them, how no one believes her over there, and how the past just keeps on repeating itself, and it is a trigger. And she has yet to have that chance to heal properly. How do they expect her to thrive and flourish in an atmosphere that is not cohesive of healing? That every day you wake up and you are reminded of the people that are supposed to protect you don't. You are reminded of the fact that they have swept us under the rug and nothing has done it. No one has lifted a finger to make it all better. She is an amazing young lady. And she is caged in. And she has been not felt accepted all her life by my mother, that she calls mom. Once upon a time, my sister adored her. Now, she too does nothing to stop this cycle of abuse of any way, shape, and form. Because it's not just the sexual part that is happening. It is the verbal abuse. And anybody that has ever gone through any kind of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, I want to say, knows that those wounds do not heal. They take the longest to heal. As for the physical, the scars and the bruises heal quicker than any kind of abuse. But she is being abused emotionally because they hate it that she is bi. They hate it that she is polyamorous. And if they were to ever find out that she was a witch, that would have be the straw that breaks the camel's back with them. I know that feeling all too well. I remember a time when I was young. I was in my early 20s. And I was seeing this guy, and my mom adored this guy. To the point of when she couldn't handle me, she would call him up and tell him to come and get me. Now, great, this is the same guy that I had bruises on my wrists, my arms, my ankles, you name it. And for the longest time, I would hide them. And then my mom asked me why I was wearing a long sleeve. And I wouldn't answer her because I had a feeling. Why would she care? All my life I've been compared to my sister. Why couldn't you be like your sister? My reply to that was, because I'm not my sister. I am me. Accept me for who I am, what I am, or don't. And it's like this, you know, now it's happening to my daughter. Them not caring that she is being abused. And my mom is the one that is doing the verbal abuse. So she's become just like, and it's a control factor with her. Because who would not want their child or their grandchild to go out and get a job, make the money, have their own money, you know? But my daughter has no form of identification whatsoever. And fingers crossed she gets to come home, and when she comes home, the first thing that me and her are going to do, I'm going to put some money back. I'm going to put 40 back for her ID, or if she wants to get her driver's license. And I want to be like, you can get your ID or you can get your driver's license. You want to start off with your ID. We can start off with your ID, and then you want to get a job, we'll save up money for you to get your driver's license, and then you'll save it, because I'm going to tell her, I said, I don't want your money. That money is yours for whatever you need. You earned that money, so it's yours. Now, if you want to take your sister out to eat with that money, that's fine. Go for it. Oh, my kitty weedy. So, but I called CPS today, and I hope that they will look into it and that something will get done and resolved. There's no need for her to be trapped. And this, you cannot even see me, but Happy house. But my daughter knows I love her. Because I told her this weekend, I said, can I tell you I love you and that Morgana loves you? And that it is not your fault. It is never your fault. And that you are so cherished and loved. So I just wanted to get on here and fill you in on what's going on. But while we're at it, let's pull a card. This is a tarot card from my elemental deck, so it's going to read different than any of my decks I have. The Ace of Cups. And I'm not doing reversals because that's just a pain in the butt. It says, divine love has come to blush over you, smoothing any rough edges and cleansing out stagnant corners. The source of true fulfillment cannot be found in another person, object, or action. It can only be found within yourself. Your heart beats with the pulse of your universal love and acceptance. If you have trouble feeling it, invite it in by lighting a candle, meditating with rose quartz, or taking a walk in nature. Quiet your mind and open your heart to the flow of the universe. It says cups are represented by the element of water. The full emotional spectrum is the manifestation of this element, from love to sorrow and joy to disgust. Everything we feel is the gift of elemental water. When rising with the tides or fighting the current, it is a force that cannot be ignored. Gemstones or emerald opens and cleanses the heart to promote the free flow of emotions. An emerald is my birthstone. But I shall see you later. Bye.